In the land of the rising sun, there once walked warriors bound by honor, discipline, and an unbreakable code. They were more than fighters. They were symbols of loyalty and strength. These were the samurai. Welcome to my channel. And today, let's travel back in time and meet the legendary samurai, the warriors of ancient Japan whose tales have echoed through history. The term samurai initially referred to a class of mercenaries who were hired by local lords to protect their lands and interests. They evolved into a distinct social class, and the very mention of the word evokes images of fierce warriors clad in armor, brandishing their iconic curved swords. But what truly set the samurai apart was not just their fighting prowess, but a strict code of conduct known as Bushidō. As we delve into the world of the samurai, we'll explore the roots of this warrior code, the evolution of their fighting techniques, and the impact they had on Japanese culture. The origins of the samurai can be traced back to the late Heian period around the 12th century. During this time, Japan's ruling class, the Heian aristocracy, enjoyed a life of luxury while the commoners toiled in the fields. However, this tranquility was often shattered by raids from neighboring Korean kingdoms, and the Japanese nobility sought capable warriors to defend their interests. Enter the samurai, initially known as bushi, meaning merely warriors. They were individuals who were employed by local lords to protect their estates and act as their agents in matters of war and diplomacy. Early samurai were not a distinct social class, but rather a collection of independent contractors bound together by their fighting skills and loyalty to their employers, the provincial barons known as shoguns. Unlike the rigid class system that would later define feudal Japan, these warriors were primarily identified by their fighting prowess and personal qualities. As Japan entered the Kamakura period around 1192, the role of the samurai became increasingly significant. With the establishment of the first shogunate, the Kamakura shogunate, the need for skilled warriors grew. The shoguns, who now held the real power in Japan, turned to the samurai to maintain order and enforce their decrees across the vast empire. This shift marked a turning point in Japanese history, setting the stage for a new era where the samurai would become the dominant force in society. During this time, the samurai's role expanded beyond that of mere bodyguards. They were expected to manage estates when their lords went to war and even serve as administrators in times of peace. This dual role as both fierce warriors and civil servants shaped the samurai into a unique class of highly trained professionals. As the years passed, the samurai's influence spread like wildfire across Japan. Their numbers swelled, and soon they weren't just employed by shoguns. They were employed by rival clan leaders, too. Each clan leader wanted his own army of loyal fighters to expand his territory and dominate the others. By the Sengoku period, or the Warring States period, which lasted from the 15th to the early 17th century, the samurai had evolved into a well-defined social class with strict rules and traditions. They formed a rigid hierarchy, mirroring the structure of Japanese society. At the top were the daimyo, the great lords who ruled over vast domains and commanded armies numbering in the tens of thousands. Below them were the lower-ranking samurai serving as administrators, advisors, and most importantly, as foot soldiers and generals on the battlefield. This system of ranks ensured that everyone knew their place and maintained order within the samurai society. And then, there were the ronin, masterless samurai, who were either exiled or chose to leave their clans, often for reasons of honor or personal ambition. Wandering samurai could join another clan, become mercenaries, or even start their own clan. One famous example of a ronin was Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary swordsman who challenged and defeated many opponents to become the most skilled warrior of his time. Now let's talk about their lifestyle, because being a samurai wasn't just about fighting. It was a way of life. When they weren't training with weapons or planning battles, they were honing other essential skills. Calligraphy, poetry, flower arrangement, and tea ceremony were all important aspects of a samurai's life. They took great pride in their appearance, wearing elegant garments and carrying themselves with dignity. But perhaps the most striking symbol of a samurai was his armor. Picture this. It's the 14th century, and you are a samurai warrior preparing for battle. The air is thick with anticipation, as you know your skills will be put to the ultimate test. You begin by donning the foundation of your armor, a close-fitting cotton underlayer called the juban. Over this, you layer the gusari, a heavy cotton or linen underarmor designed to absorb sweat and cushion impacts. Next comes the kirai, a steel chest piece often adorned with family crests. Plates of lacquered iron, known as the dao, cover your shoulders, elbows, and knees. The head was protected by a helmet called the kabuto, sometimes resembling fantastic beasts with fearsome horns and crests. And let's not forget the iconic katana, a curved, single-edged sword worn at the hip along with a dagger-like wakizashi. As you adjust your armor, you realize it's not just about protection. It's a statement, a display of your clan's pride and your unwavering spirit as a samurai. We've talked about their weapons, their armor, but something is missing. What fueled the samurai? What drove them to be the best? It was their unbreakable code of conduct, Bushidō, the way of the warrior. Loyalty to their lord was paramount, but so was respect for their fellow samurai, regardless of rank. Courage and honor were celebrated, and self-discipline was revered. A samurai's word was his bond, and they were expected to be truthful and just in all their dealings. Benevolence and righteousness were also key, as was the pursuit of perfection. Bushidō wasn't just a set of rules. It was a philosophy that guided every aspect of a samurai's life. It was the bedrock of their society, shaping their actions, their thoughts, and their very being. One of the most compelling aspects of the samurai was their mastery of weaponry. The katana, a curved, single-edged sword, became synonymous with these warriors. It was not just a tool of war, but an extension of their spirit. The katana's gentle arc represented the samurai's belief in harmony and balance, while its razor-sharp edge symbolized their unwavering focus and precision. Wielding a katana required skill, agility, and an understanding of one's opponent, much like the warriors themselves. Every swing was a calculated move, a blend of strength and finesse that mirrored the samurai's approach to life. Then there was the wakizashi, a smaller sword worn alongside the katana. It was used for more intimate combat in close quarters, reflecting the samurai's adaptability in diverse situations. Together, the katana and wakizashi were a formidable weapon, but they were also a testament to the samurai's dedication to their craft. For these warriors, the mastery of their weapons was a lifelong pursuit, a reflection of their commitment to excellence and their unbending spirit. The end of the samurai came with the dawn of a new era for Japan. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration swept across the nation, ushering in a period of rapid modernization and industrialization. This dramatic shift saw the old feudal system dismantled, and with it, the role of the samurai became obsolete. The new Japanese government, eager to forge a modern military, replaced the traditional samurai armies with conscripted forces equipped with Western weapons and tactics. Overnight, the samurai went from being revered warriors to a class of unemployed veterans. Many struggled to adapt to this new reality, clinging to their outdated weapons and traditions in a rapidly changing world. However, some samurai did find ways to thrive in the modern era. Their skills in administration and combat were highly sought after, and many transitioned into civil service or became police officers. Some even played a part in the Russo-Japanese War of 1904-1905, where they shared their knowledge with the newly formed conscript army. Despite their dwindling numbers, the spirit of the samurai endured. Their stories lived on in art, literature, and the hearts of the Japanese people. Values like loyalty, honor, and self-discipline continued to resonate, shaping Japanese culture for generations to come. Though their swords were sheathed forever, the legacy of the samurai continued to inspire. It's a legacy of courage, resilience, and an unyielding commitment to one's purpose. To this day, the samurai stand as a symbol of Japan's rich history and cultural identity, reminding us that true strength lies not just in physical prowess, but in the unwavering spirit of those who dare to be honorable, disciplined, and courageous in the face of any challenge. Thanks for joining us today. If you like this video, please like and share. We'll see you next time.